A, B, C, D, F, G, H, I, J, 1, 2, 3.
Hi.
JD, what does ABC Darian mean?
Means in alphabetical order.
That's not true.
I learned. That's impossible.
Is that true?
That's what you told me.
And I made the computer speak for you. ABC Darian.
You did.
I love saying things to JD that blows his mind, where he's like, "Yo, okay," and then it's like, "Mother hump."
He's like, "Holy crap, he was right. I've never heard this ever."
Or like when JD's brain is like in the process of realizing that he was wrong on his position, right? Because I use like logic to explain things. Like for example, the difference between like say a shirt and something that goes over a shirt to keep you warm.
Yeah, so an overshirt.
Then a jacket would be considered an overshirt.
Yeah.
An overshirt.
I don't know if that is necessarily true.
I don't know if you just make things up. Just if a shirt is, JD believed at one, well, you've changed your position on this. You believed shirts were designed to keep you warm, but then my question was, well, why are there jackets? And if I'm wearing a t-shirt,
I mean, it's definitely not going to keep you warm in the Arctic.
I'm just saying. Point. Oh, what a good point. That's interesting. Anyway, what's today's show about, buddy?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I thought you looked at the thing.
I didn't look at the thing.
All right, I'll tell you what it's about.
What it's about.
Okay.
What is it about? What are we talking about today?
What is there to know to have a career in entertainment? Is it all worth it?
That's a good topic.
So let's start off with the first part of it. JD, what is there to know to have a career in entertainment? And don't say I don't know. Why don't you tell me? I'm asking you legitimately a question that you're going to answer incorrectly so I can inform the audience. Well, because you're going to be the voice of reason for the people listening. I'm going to be the voice for reason to change.
All right. So I'll be the artist.
But say your truth. Say what you really believe. What is there to know to have a career?
Besides having an amazing cornbread recipe on standby.
Yeah, this is him not answering the question. This is why our shows go 3 hours.
I know. You're welcome. I'm here for the entertainment.
You're here to talk about how you see these questions in your head, because the majority of the audience, I would say the great majority of the audience, thinks identical to how you perceive the questions.
That's a fairly accurate standpoint, I believe.
And then my job is to be funny and then correct you. See what I did there? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Totally.
It is a visual show too, so yeah, I guess you are here to be funny.
I know. See, look what this does.
Yeah, I can't even see it. Oh, that's your nose? I thought that was a microphone. It's like, why is it so close to his eyes?
It's attached.
I leaned forward. Look, I did. That's literally what I did. I leaned forward.
I'm leaning forward.
Yeah, it's because you were trying to hold onto the table so you didn't fall onto the floor. So that happens when you can't reach the ground. I leaned forward. That's literally what I did. Yeah, is that literally what you were doing? I guess those are different questions, right? Because what you are literally doing versus what you literally did are not the same thing.
Oh,
yeah, because what you literally are doing is based on the motivation.
So, you are literally drinking a Diet Pepsi.
I am literally keeping myself hydrated. Now, how am I doing it?
With a Diet Pepsi?
No. By having a drink near me that I am sipping occasionally in between me talking and then listening to pure silence and dead air while I take a sip. And JD stares at me. Why do you stop talking? This is such a boring show. If I just stare at him, maybe I should say, oh, I know what I'll do. Thomas is drinking his water.
So we have a question that you want to answer.
Question? I was waiting.
What is there to know
go ahead.
to have a career in entertainment?
Yeah.
So answering.
Jesus, I thought you were going to be funny.
Two men walk into a bar.
Oh, Jesus.
One of them would have seen it.
Okay. What do you mean?
Well, first off, there's a lot because you should definitely do the research of how your industry works. But,
is that what you did?
After I met you, yes.
Yeah, that's what we're asking. I already know that you're going to be a genius if you use my information.
Yeah. Without knowing you, I did not do anywhere.
So tell
near
me, before
proper.
meeting me, what is there to know to have a career in entertainment?
Without having any of your knowledge,
Yeah.
I would have said, be good at your craft, whether you're, in music, whether you're an actor, whether
Wait.
you're
Let me write some of this down because I'm going to ask you questions on it. 1 second.
Ooh. Are they going to be multiple choice?
No, but I'm trying to understand a very important question, which I will reveal at the end of the show. Where the hell is the program? Oh, here it is.
It'd be really funny if the lead up just had like nothing to do with like the question. The question is like, so how many Cinnabons have you ever eaten at once? What?
I don't know. Cream or no cream? I can kind of see where this is going.
3?
All right. So you're saying, let's see.
Without knowing you, I would have said, be knowledgeable and be good at your craft. Which was
Wait. Oh, so let's just say, oh yeah, all right, we could do that because those are 2 things that I'm definitely be knowledgeable and know your craft.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. By the way, this is how I train people. This is how I consult. I let you figure it out first.
And then he just beats you metaphorically with a stick. He goes,
Yeah.
no, this is not
Correct.
Das ist nicht gut.
What? Why are you racist?
What? What?
What?
So that would have been the first thing.
What the hell's going on here?
I also would have said, are you still working on it, or you good?
I'm trying to find it. Oh, here we go. We'll use this one. Okay.
Ugh.
Be knowledgeable. Knowledgeable
About your craft.
and
the macaroni and
know your
cheese.
craft is what you said.
Yes.
And know your craft. All right, go ahead. What else?
I would have said, perform as often as possible.
Oh.
So if you're performing, that means either if you're a musician playing shows, if you're an actor acting all the time, if you're a
Sure.
comedian, get up and do like open mics or whatever.
Yeah, keep going.
I would have said that.
Uh-huh.
As a musician, I would have said tour,
Yeah.
but I do not know what the equivalent for an actor would be.
Yeah, but perform as much as possible. Is that different than touring, you think?
For me, how I was thinking about it, yes, because performing as a local musician just meant performing as much as possible in the local circuit.
So perform as much as possible in the local area,
Yeah.
or local market, we'll call it.
All right. And then the other perspective was going out and touring within,
Tour as much as possible to expand
fan base was the train of thought we had.
your fan base. There we go. All right, what else?
Let's see. We didn't really get too far with that. That's pretty much all we focused on. Oh, make things. So record if you're a musician.
Make things great again?
No,
Oh.
definitely not. Definitely not.
You didn't make things great again?
I feel like I'm gonna go throw up now.
Make things
so like
to sell.
Yeah. So like t-shirts, albums.
Not flannels?
Oh. If we were in the 90s, I could totally see doing flannels.
Oh, but not t-shirts.
We could do t-shirts.
Oh, so you want to do t-shirts and flannels?
Yes, because a t-shirt is different than a flannel.
That's
shirt.
right. It's not called a flannel shirt. All right, keep going. There are flannel shirts, though.
There are.
But they would look different than the thing I'm wearing.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm wearing it now. All right, what else?
I think that's all I got.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. This is going to lead to so many good things. Okay.
Well, good thing we're doing this episode, then.
Yeah. All right, so be knowledgeable and know your craft. Why?
The train of thought at that time was
just tell me. You don't have to lead in. The lead in is why. Do you have to be knowledgeable and know your craft? Just
gotcha. So
you can't do it again. I need to lead in. So basically what happened is my brain sat down for a moment with other brains.
The
and
idea
our
was that if we built it, they would come. So we wanted to make
that has
sure
nothing to do with knowledge of the industry or
we
knowledge
just
of your
needed to be
craft
the
or know your
best
craft.
in order for people to
be
interested in us.
the best. What is the best?
Better than everyone else.
What? How do you determine that?
With that logic,
Yeah.
we would just have to be the best musicians.
Well, how
Or
do you
we had-
determine that? Is it based on your opinion, or
It would
is there like you get a survey at every show? All right, who best musician.
Mainly, it was basically just based on our own biases
Ego.
and or crowd reactions.
Crowd reaction has nothing to do with the best.
That is true.
That might be the most entertaining show or the most entertaining act, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's the best. However, it could also be the best entertaining act, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're the best musicians.
That is also very true.
Because Rancid exists. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so JD, here's a question. Are you knowledgeable and know your craft?
Compared to you, no.
We're not. All right. Did I ask that?
You did not.
What did I ask?
If I am knowledgeable and know my craft.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. What makes you knowledgeable about your craft?
The fact that I have studied.
What is the ranking? Like, how are we ranking this? Is it like you know that you play guitar, or is like what is the knowledge? Would you consider yourself knowledgeable? And if so, let's define that. What is not knowledgeable in your mind?
I would say that I am knowledgeable enough to be able to.
No. Let's define knowledgeable first. Stay on point.
All right. So
define knowledgeable for you. For you, not the definition of knowledgeable. What would you believe being knowledgeable would be?
Having a specific amount of information that has been.
How much?
I don't know, gallon? I don't know, 2 gallons?
No, I'm saying like, because one can be knowledgeable in, say, the craft of playing guitar, but be an amateur.
I feel that I am knowledgeable enough to convey the basics of what I am playing or basic thoughts to other musicians when I'm working with them.
Okay. And are you, be knowledgeable? Oh, do you know your craft?
As in, do I know how to write songs? Yes.
No, that is that's another conversation we're not gonna get into, because I would say you don't know how to write songs, but you do write songs. Those are two different things: writing songs and knowing how to write songs. And the reason is because you don't know what a good song is. You can't break down a good song.
Well, this is true. We've gone through the difference between good songs and bad songs, and songs that we like and songs we dislike, and they're two different things.
But you can write songs, but you don't know how to write songs. Those are two different things.
I do not know how to write a hit.
No, it's not a hit.
A good song.
A good song can be a flop.
Wait, what's a good song that was a flop?
You name it.
I still, because I can't think of one.
Well, for example, any metal band we like that is not mainstream, there could be good songs in it. But a good song doesn't equate to a hit. But a good song has a specific structure to its narrative. There's something about it that is hitting the right narrative points, which you can play around with once you understand how to create that narrative.
So you're saying once you have the ability to control theory to the point where you just understand,
not theory, control the narrative of how to write a song. Theory might come into play while writing a song to kind of like adjust things.
All right, so when you're able to control the ability to write a good song, you're saying you can add kazoos when and wherever you want.
Absolutely, without fail. It's the same thing with writing. Quentin Tarantino understands the craft of writing to the point where he can play with the style of writing.
I don't recall him ever adding kazoos, though.
It's because you have never seen all his movies.
I have never seen Jackie Brown.
Anyway,
all right, now
that's Saigon Kick.
I need to find a kazoo cover of
the
Pulp Fiction.
Going back. So JD, you can write songs, but you don't know how to write songs, which is not an insult or it's not degrading. That's just a fact. Yeah. But you're saying you know your craft. So what does that mean? Define
that. Knowing your craft, I believe that was what I was saying. Understanding how to do the thing that is that you do. So I said that I would, I know how to write songs, I know how to play my instrument, I know how to do the music.
I would say you know how to play your instrument, but you don't know how to write songs, which are two different crafts.
They are two different crafts.
That's why I always say you're a musician and not necessarily a composer.
Because there's two different skills.
They're completely two different skills. It's like Hans Zimmer might not be the greatest cello player in the world.
That's why he has Tina Guo play for him.
That's why he has who?
Tina Guo.
Who's that?
The cello player.
Oh, I thought you were saying Tina Woe. Like, whoa, Tina.
Check, please.
What, is that what you were saying?
Tina Guo with a G.
She now you're just being mean. Are you just making fun of something?
No, I'm not.
What are you doing?
I'm talking.
Well, what's her name?
Tina.
Yeah. And what's her last name?
Guo.
What is she short? Are you telling her to do something?
What?
Tina Guo. What do you do? Baby talk with her? Hi, Tina. Tina, can you grow? Can you grow for me? See, JD's supposed to be the funny one, but when it comes to anything that's funny, he gets embarrassed. All right. So you know your craft of playing.
Yes.
All right. So I have a question then.
I have an answer then.
If you are learning a specific thing and you change it, is it the same thing that you were learning?
It is not, because it
All
is
right, there we
literally
go.
just changed.
Well, now I believe you know your craft. All right. To be the best. What is? Oh, we already went over that, right? What? No, we didn't. What is to be the best? What does that mean?
To be the best, the idea was that we would be better than anybody else.
We got some comments. Wait.
We have
Keep
comments.
going.
We have comments. Oh, what's going
What is
on
this?
here? The idea was that we would be better than all the other bands, or if you're an actor or comedian, you'd be better than all the other actors. That people would be like, "Oh my God, look at those people," or look at him, look at her.
Yeah.
You would steal the show. Like no matter what you did, people would always want to,
So be so
watch you.
good they can't ignore you.
Exactly, what Steve Martin says.
All right. How'd that work out?
It didn't.
All right. Perform as much as possible in the local market. Why?
Well, the idea was that we would want to build up a fan base in our hometown, and
So specifically
saw,
to build a fan base.
Yes, and then we thought that if we played and people saw us at shows, they'd be like, "Oh my God, these people are amazing!"
Why would they say that? Because you were the best.
Because we were the best.
Damn, they're knowledgeable with their craft. These mofos are the best.
Oh my God.
God, I'm a fan already. What do you got? Let me buy some stuff.
I feel like,
bro, you gotta come here. You gotta see how knowledgeable these people are with their craft. They play and drink with the horns.
Statistically speaking, that has to happen at least once because it's so random.
Well, it has to happen because of the law of percentage.
Yes.
So if 1,000 people, the same 1,000 people see you perform.
So when I'm 50 and that finally happens, and that guy and that person uses those exact words, I'm going to laugh and be like, "Hey, Tom, guess what happened?"
Well, they say it for Dream Theater.
Yeah, well, Dream Theater is like, anytime you watch Dream Theater live, it's like going to just like a music lecture.
That's not true. They jam, they play around.
What I meant is that
they don't just play exactly what's on the album.
What I meant was it is so technical that you just have to take notes. You're going.
So
do you think
you would be considered the best if it's compared to say how
Dream
knowledgeable
Theater?
they are?
No, because they're aliens.
So you would say you're not knowledgeable in comparison.
The Dream Theater
or the best.
No.
So how are you going to be remembered if that's what you're going for at a show? You're up there playing.
There's a real,
and then they're like, damn, that's so knowledgeable.
There's realistic best, and then there's God level.
I like to bring the temple up to 1 billion for just to warm up. I don't hit this button because if I do, the world will blow up.
All right.
Oh God, those videos were like the best.
So to build a fan base, gotcha. All right. Tour as much as possible. Expand your fan base. Same thing. You were like, if we play shows,
if they see us, they'll love us. Is basically what we were thinking.
So what happened is that didn't happen.
Correct.
Because no one showed up, and if people did show up, they weren't there to see you, so they had no emotional connection to you. And a song or a performance doesn't necessarily create an impact.
Correct.
Because how do you get impacted by something?
They run you over.
JD's last show, everyone. To be impacted on a one-shot thing, it has to be so different. Which, would you agree, your music
and the stage show were definitely
not different, right? Like the reason Kiss left an impact when they showed up,
because they blew.
No one else was doing what they did. The reason, well, Alice Cooper too.
He literally chopped his head off on stage.
They said this about Sabbath. He literally. Sabbath was they were scary. You went there and the show was scary, even though they were just standing there. The music just like influenced fear, and it was just the themes they were talking about. No one was talking about those themes in the way they were. Figure in black. Which points at me? Like the imagery of that is just insane, right? So that's again, that would be the impact. And people are like, you got to this stuff. It was a crazy thing, right? Um,
And that guitarist doesn't have fingers.
and the way you do that is you bring your truth to it. Like, what is it you want to do versus are you trying to do what someone else does? Like, if you're playing music that sounds like other people's music, you're not doing anything.
You're basically making you're making a copy
Yeah.
of somebody else.
You're not going
you.
to impact anything. So, like, for example, you do instrumental heavy metal music that basically sounds like a mixture of 3 bands, right? But what is it that your music could be that would, not that you should be trying, by the way, never try to make anything be an impact. You want to try to create,
Just be genuine.
just be your genuine truth. But with that said, though, what could you do to make your music or your performance impactful? And you can't say dragons because people already do stage shows like that.
They definitely do.
Like Iron Maiden.
But they also definitely have a lot of crazy stuff. But if I'm following what you're implying, the best thing to do is to focus on what it is that I feel my message is, what my mission in life is, and let that guide the creation of the music. And then whatever the stage show ends up being, let my missions and morals guide how I want to present my message to people. This way I can be the truest version of myself and represent myself honestly, instead of just trying to be like, oh, look, I'm Black Sabbath with more distortion.
With more distortion.
Doom.
Like when you listen to my music, you go, how are you coming up with these stupid rhythms, these stupid movements, or these parts? And it's because in my head, I'm thinking about how do I turn like the thought or the emotion of the scene that I'm scoring in my head into words through music, and not necessarily, oh, I like that Iced Earth riff.
I literally thought you were just doing long division in your head, and there's just like a little monkey with like a pencil and paper going. Right, count to 5, then 13, then hold for 2.
Hold for 2. Do the hooky. One of my favorite experiences of knowing I was on the right path was I was playing music with my best friend for the first time, and I had just started playing guitar, maybe like a year before this or whatever, and he was already doing stuff. I think his band was signed to like a Christian label, like a Christian metal label, like because that was like Straight Edges.
Oh yeah,
that was like
a straight edge thing.
Yeah, that was becoming something. He didn't last that long, I think 2 or 3 years, but he was like doing stuff.
Yeah, he had started his career.
Yeah, and he was like, hey, I know you're coming out this way. Why don't you come over and we could jam? I heard you're starting to play guitar, like for real. And I was like, yeah.
Was this in Florida or
this is in Florida. And I was like, yeah, sure, whatever, like. And he's like, have you written anything? I go, yeah. And he goes, all right, let's play some. And I was like, okay. And I start playing some. And I played one of my songs, Dolio, which is like, and he was like, we got to take a beat out of there. And I was like, what? He's like, if you want it to be a good song, you got to take a beat out. And I was like, why do I got to take a beat out? He's like, because it has to be in 4/4.
What?
And I was like, but it's not in 4/4. And he goes, yeah, but it has to be in 4/4. And I go, but I wrote the song
not in 4/4.
Not in 4/4. So, and but he was like, just trust me. And I was like, you know what? He's signed. He's been playing music longer than I am. Let me listen to it. And it was just us doing this. And I was like, there's no dynamic. He took away that dynamic, like the flow of the part. And that was one of the most beautiful lessons I was ever taught, is no one will ever tell me how to write my art. But that doesn't mean I can't learn how to write a good song. And when he said to make it good, it had to be in 4/4.
That doesn't make any sense.
I do what I do with you all the time. But it was in my head because I was trying to show it, because in this situation, he was the elder of knowledge, because, so I had to show him respect in that way. But, in my head, I was like,
it doesn't make any sense.
So I just immersed myself in the process of like what makes a good song and what is theory and what is so by the next time I even talked to anybody about music, I was an expert. Like I was that engulfed.
You're like, this is wrong. I need to find out why.
Well, yeah, because it logically didn't make sense to me because it went from having, and I didn't know what the word dynamic meant with music at that point in my career of trying to be a musician.
Well, this is when you were like, what, 18?
No, I was like 16 or something.
Oh, wow.
Like that. Yeah.
You were like baby Thomas.
I was baby Thomas. But the thing was, the reason I wrote it with that,
It has a groove.
Well, forget the groove. It's because the part was moving in my head, because the part was about pain. And as still as you can become with like emotional pain, you're still moving. Your brain is overthinking. You know, you may be stuck in bed, covered in a blanket, but you're still moving. You know, you want to be somewhere else. You want to get up. You think about everything that's horrible. So in my mind, that song, it had to still be moving. You know what I'm saying? Like it still had to. And then there's that calm. You know, like like when you have depression, you get into a calm where all the chaos turns into like one thought, and then you linger on that thought. So the song actually is heavy, where it goes, you know, and then it goes soft, and then the lyrics come in, and it's over that because now we're
Black Sabbath of you.
Yeah, well, I was 16, but the idea was now, but you see, like even at 16, I was writing with like purpose. Like in my brain, I was like, not that I would sit there and like how I'm analyzing it now. Like I didn't really go into that.
When you were 16, you're just like, this is what I'm feeling. This is what needs to happen.
Yeah, because it
Without
made
any,
sense to depression. You know, and in Latin, doleo is a loose way of saying pain.
Oh.
So, and I'm probably pronouncing doleo wrong, but
how does it spell?
Doleo.
Doleo.
Doleo. It's literally do Leo. Do Leo. Anyway, but the point was, because it didn't make, like, in my head, again, I didn't know what dynamic meant, but in my head, hearing him say that, and I was like, it doesn't have any movement now. You know, I say that to you all the time. I go, if your songs don't have any movement, they're useless. And what that means is if it lingers, and it doesn't mean you have to change every other progression. It doesn't mean you have to.
You're saying that there has to be a feel change, so it doesn't just sound like
not just feel change. There has to be an evolution to the change, because you can still.
You could pull a Beethoven and do, you know, the Ninth Symphony, where it's just the one thing over and over again, but the way everything comes in.
Oh, the how?
Yeah, it's just, you know, there's movement, there's growth, there's evolution, and it's, you know, him just playing around with that one theme.
Yeah, but he's expanding on the theme. But there is a thing where if, like, let's say the part was like right, and then the guitars just go and the rhythm stops, but the drums are still going like it's still the same part, but there's no movement now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just because you change an instrument doesn't necessarily mean you change a movement. But you can change, like the way I did it with that song is I went from this heavy, aggressive dynamic,
something soft,
but I also changed the part slightly that didn't follow that necessary progression.
So this way the heart of the riff was there, but the feel.
The movement of it. And then the chorus followed that like you know, where it was like down down down, you know, so the chorus was like down down brown.
Do you have the song recorded somewhere?
Yeah, I got like 7 versions of it, but
what the hell? How come we're not listening to this?
I don't know. The real version of it is the version that never got released because the guy we recorded it with put the coding on it. Yeah. That version was like the version I was like, this is Doleo. Like it was like the perfect version of that song.
So you never. You don't even have it.
I don't even have it.
Oh,
and I have it on, you know, I have like the MIDI of it. But Dan was like, I'm not going to do it. The drum solo in the middle, just go to the next part. And I was like, but the song has a drum solo. Like it literally has a drum solo.
And he's like, I don't want to do it.
He's like, you know, it's like a live thing. And I was like, no, it's in the song. No, I like doing it live just so I could do it. Oh, is it because you didn't freaking practice? Like you don't do a drum solo in the studio. You do a part, like have it follow. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
That's like, a guitar solo in a song. It's like Randy Rhodes.
No, I'll just do it live.
Randy
You
Rhodes
sure,
was
Randy?
just like, we'll just go straight from the from the bridge to the chorus. But I'll do a solo live.
Yeah, I'll do solo live. I don't really have anything. I'm just gonna work it out on the set.
Just imagine that like every song on Blizzard of Oz had no guitar solos like at all.
I would love that
Don't talk to me.
because it would be so different.
It would be completely.
It'd be
different.
completely different. Anyway, all right. So make things to sell, JD. T-shirts, CDs. Why?
And let's not forget the flannels.
Which are not shirts. All right. So go ahead.
Again, it goes down to the mentality. If we thought, if we built it, they would come. If we thought, if we like made this thing, we were like, oh, people like music. Let's make a music.
Are you telling me if you made a T-shirt, people are like, we gotta find these.
That
Do you
was the thought.
see this T-shirt? It just has their name on it. Terribly.
It has their name and it's got this weird.
Look at that
horn
skull.
pointy guy.
I haven't seen that in metal.
He's got hands.
Oh, I need hand metal skulls.
Oh my god, that's
yeah.
genius. We're making an album called Hand Metal.
And it's all in sign language.
Thomas, can you do me a favor and just like, can you get me more like fingers in the wedge?
Yeah, I can't hear the wind moving past the microphone. Oh, yeah, I know what he's saying.
I can't believe he said that.
Jesus, are you can you even say that on the album? We're gonna have to do that.
That's
I feel I was off key on that take. Can we go back? All right, well that's fair.
So yeah, we thought
Did that work out?
it did not.
You know what ruined
They're
you
good.
for that? The Kevin Costner movie, Fields of Dreams. You were like, look, if you build it, they will
Yeah,
come.
if we build it, we'll have like the ghost of Randy Rhodes come and bless our stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, we ended up giving away a lot of like free stuff, either to like friends, family, and just like as like promotional stuff. So
Yeah.
we definitely did not make our money back.
Of course not.
On,
No one cared about it.
yeah.
Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
So was it all worth it?
It was not worth it in the business sense. No.
But as an artist, you're like, I'm doing something I wish I could do.
Yeah.
But you weren't necessarily doing it to be artists. You were doing it to be successful.
Correct.
So it doesn't even matter if it was a fun experience.
Because we failed in the business aspect, which is what our goal is.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're like, you know what? I want to open up a donut shop and it fails. And you're like, yeah, but I had so much fun putting all that time and money into
I
it.
had so many
know,
donuts.
I didn't really, I ate all the, I gave the donuts to my friends, some people outside, we were starting to get some real traffic, but then I was like, well, if people are coming in, let me start charging them. And they were like, oh no, I thought this was the free donut place. And I was like, it backfired. That's the thing though. Like you can do things that have fun, but if the moment I've said this many times, the moment you want to make money with it, the art is the fun part. That's the reward. The playing the shows is the reward. But don't do those things to succeed at business. You don't write songs to succeed at business. You don't write a play. You don't write a book. You don't do art to succeed at business. Because some of the greatest artists of our time and even of our histories were not even successful while they were alive.
Yeah, like Bach, I think was a prime example.
Well, yeah, because he was barking up the wrong tree.
He was barking up the wrong tree.
That's how Boston. Who the hell's Bach? Why is there a musician named Bach?
Is he a dog?
Does he scream a lot? What is his music? Dog shit.
Dog.
Bach.
Water.
But even what's his face with the ear missing?
Van Gogh.
He didn't make money as an artist.
Yeah, no, he died poor.
All right. So did his art, but his art revolutionized the technique of painting.
But that happened after he died.
After he died, because people started, they were like, "What?
They're
There's
like,
movement."
Literally,
he was placing movement into art, which is crazy, like because you'd look at his stuff and be like, the wind is moving, the light is moving, there was stuff going on.
That guy's screaming.
But however, yeah. So if you want to just create and be an artist and act or write or be a musician, do that. Have fun doing that. But the moment you want to make money, don't do those things to be successful. I'm not saying don't do those things. Keep doing those things. If you want to play a show, play a show.
Just understand that is not what is going to make you successful.
Yeah, like if you say to yourself, I'm going to act in a play, do not make that choice because you think acting that play will make you successful. Because it won't. It may create opportunities because you're doing other things. For example, You don't just leave afterwards. You hang out and network and talk to people and build relationships. You may start telling people about the show. So now you're marketing, right? But it's not necessarily the show itself.
Exactly.
Right.
It's just a show.
It's just a show. And sometimes.
So because when you're one of the biggest lessons that you taught me that kind of resonated with me is that if you focus on the thing, you're leaving it up to people's opinions, and that's something you pointed out about when you told me to start getting press and doing that. One of my first thing was like, oh, you mean like reviews? And you're like, reviews are terrible because you're literally at the whim of somebody's opinion of your art, not someone connecting with your brand. So like again, if you focus on the thing, people are either going to love the thing or they're going to hate the thing.
Yeah, there definitely be variables of people saying I could go either way, but it's so small, it's not going to make an impact. Yeah. But also, someone liking it doesn't mean they're interested.
Correct.
And when it comes to music, especially back in my day, you have to fight through.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, you have to literally fight through those 2 seconds of music on the radio. So if I got one of my songs on the radio, I'm at the whim of somebody going, I've never heard this. Click. And let me go to a different channel to hear a song I like. Not only have to get through those people, but then you're going to get people that are listening, and then because they've never heard it, they don't have an emotional connection, so they're not really paying attention. Now it becomes background music. So now I got to get through those people. And then there's going to be people that go, oh, this is different. Let me listen. And that's such a small group of people that now I have to get 10% of that group of people to hear that song again, over and over and over again, to just get 10% of those people. So it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you take a chance at a career in this industry, just whatever your industry of entertainment is, you can do I love playing shows. Like I used to do comedy all the time, but I didn't.
You didn't push the shows.
I didn't push.
You didn't say, hey,
they were on my websites, but I wasn't like, come to my show.
Yeah,
come
like
to my
you
show.
wouldn't reach out to people. Oh, I got a show coming up. Blah, blah, blah.
And promoters all got pissed at that. They're like, why aren't you telling people to come to the show? I go, first of all, you're not paying me. If you pay me, I'll take some of that money and put it into advertisement, right? Because that would be fair. I would understand that. But because you're paying me a flat rate, so I have to do the right thing. But you're not paying me. I'm getting maybe 5 to 10 minutes. And you're charging every person, not every 2 people, but every person, $20. So if I bring 10 people, that's $200. Then they have to buy drinks. And the drinks themselves could be $5 to $10. So at most, you're looking at $50 to $60 that they paid to come see me for less than a tenth of the show, because you have decided that 10 comics on a show is not emotionally draining. And, well, then why should I put you on the show? You don't have to put me on the show. But if you're putting me on the show so you can make money, you're not making money. Well, yes, I am. They're coming to the door. But you're not making money. You're getting paid, and that's different. Making money has longevity to it. If you just want people to give you money, then just ask people money. Just go
outside and be like, hey, money.
Yeah, give me money. I'll take your money. And after a while,
if you give me money, I'll take it from you.
Yeah. But the same thing goes. But I did the exact opposite. I would say to people, listen, if you do a show at my theater, I will pay you 25% of the ticket, which was $20. So you get $5 of the ticket, right? For the first 10 people. If you could bring 11 people to 20 people, I will actually give you $10 a ticket for all the people. So you just upped your grade.
So it's 50, right? Because originally it was $20 for the ticket.
Well, the ticket is $20.
Yeah, so you give them 50%.
Yeah, so I would give them 50%, right? And then if they did 21 people or more, I gave them 75%, and then I only took $5 and I gave them $15 because in my mind
they did the work.
They did the work. They got the draw here.
And then the amount of people that would be coming would pay what you needed for your overhead.
That's right. Because if they came and let's say 15 other people showed up and they were there for other people, that comic shouldn't get paid for those 15 people that came to see someone else, right? But what would happen? The comics that cared about getting paid, they would bring people, and I was a man of my word. I'd be, boop, here's your money. And then some comedians like, oh, I didn't make any money. You didn't bring anybody, but you said you would pay me. I said I would pay you if you brought 1 to 10 people. And I went through the. So clubs don't really do that. And I was in a situation where I wanted them to bring so many people that I only made $5 a ticket. Because $5 times 30 is still $150 for me. But I didn't make money on the theater where that was like my living. You know, I had BBR.
Yeah, the theater was for you to fulfill your mission of being able to provide a creative space for people to do what they wanted to do, but also educate them in the process. And the fact that you even did that by you're like, I'm going to pay people, and you had that deal. That was a lesson in itself, saying, hey, you're doing this, you can make money, let me teach you. And then you gave them the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, because my mentality was I literally teach people to build branding value. So if people show up for you, that's your branding value. So I'm going to pay you based on your branding value. And if you have no branding value, I don't have to pay you. Especially if you ask me to, like, hey, can I perform? Absolutely, this is the deal. And that's the other thing. Like, let's say someone showed up. You know, if people showed up to see them because they showed up and was like, can I get on stage? And people showed up, I would still pay that person based on who showed up for them. Because at the door, what do? Who you here to see? All right, let me put it down. Now, bands, there would be a list, who you here to see, right? And they mark it down, right? And you don't get paid for that. If you come to the door, promoters go, who you here to see? And they mark it down and they keep that money. But if they come with a ticket, they also mark it down but then the difference, oh, you gave me the ticket. You already paid them for that ticket. But they're not giving you money for any additional people that come to the door.
They're just keeping track for their own records.
Yeah, because they're like, ooh, a lot of people came for this. I'm going to tell them they could be on another show because I make money off of them. Right. And they're like, they can make money by selling the tickets. But how can I sell the tickets at, what is it, twice the door sometimes, or half the door? What is it, half the door or whatever it is?
I don't know. I think usually at the door it's more money.
That's what I'm saying. Like the door might be like 15 and like the tickets are 10.
Yeah, it's usually something like that.
So, but like in that situation, like, I don't know if I'm going to go to your show. Why not? We're friends, but like, you've been playing the same 4 songs for 6 years. You know, I've already seen them. Yeah, but this is a $10 ticket. How about I just give you $5 and I don't go, you know? Like, and you know that what are you doing in that situation? You're killing your brand. And if you have to convince somebody to come to your show, you have no brand value with them. Right. And then even worse, if they do spend $10 and they go, and then they have to sit through 6 bands, you know what I'm saying? Or if they say, well, when's your band going on? I'm going on at 8. You're going on at 8. I get off of work at 6. I got to eat. I got to shower. And then I got to come. I'm going to miss you. I'm not going to come. And then what's the other worst thing? Oh, we're going on at midnight.
It's like, I got work in the morning. Like, I passed my bedtime.
The other thing that is an issue, which you can probably agree to this, for local shows specifically, it probably happens sometimes with like tour shows, tour packages, but I would say 90% of the time with local shows, when are you going on? 8, 2 hours later, we're getting ready. We're getting ready to go on. Right? Because they're not ran properly.
Dude, there was one show, I'm sure you had something similar, where like the show was literally like 2 or 3 hours behind, and we didn't go on till like 1 in the morning because there was one band that was they were a quote unquote touring band, like a professional band, and they literally took 45 minutes to set up their stuff. Yeah. And they had like this crazy, insane light setup, and then the stage was so small that they couldn't fit it on there, so they had to take time to take it down. So it took them an hour.
But that's fine, because what should you have done? Gone home.
Bye.
Right? Were you getting paid?
I don't recall.
Or you sold tickets, probably, right?
I don't recall that one.
I would have went home. I remember, if they don't have to follow the rules, the show's gonna be shit. Right?
That's definitely one thing that I'm very thankful for like being on a tour package is always like the tour manager. And if you have a good tour manager, that person is just going to be like, listen, you will make sure that this stays on time. There's one tour manager we had who like literally like the nicest guy on the face of the planet, but the second like a promoter from like one of the shows that we were
Yeah.
at just was not following like the time schedule. Dude, he was like, "No, we're gonna do this." I've seen him cut like bands after like 2 songs.
Yeah, because the show is the show.
Yeah.
You got to do the show. You got to be stickler for that. You know, like like if I worked with comedians and I lit them, and they didn't get off, I would never book them again. That's it. You went over. I told you get 7 minutes to 10 minutes. You know, or 15 minutes.
Whatever.
Here's the light. I'm giving. Do you want to light at 5 minutes, 3 minutes, or 1 minute? I'll give it to me at 1 minute. All right. If I do 1 minute, you can't go 5 minutes. Right. And they're like, all right. And then they go over and go, oh, what happened? It's like, oh, I started the beginning of my joke when you lit me. And then I go, all right, well, how long did I tell you had for a set? You told me I have 15 minutes. All right. So why would you do a set that is longer than 15 minutes? Well, I don't know how long they're going to laugh. Well, then you don't know how to do comedy. What do you mean I don't know how to do comedy? Well, because if you know your jokes, you know how long the laugh breaks are. That's how you make a closer. The closer is the biggest laugh. You know what I'm saying? Like
They're like, "Oh my god."
Like, don't you review your tapes? Or I don't film myself. Well, how do you know if the jokes are going well? Because they laugh or not. I go, but you're supposed to All right. Have a nice day. Anyway, all right, next thing. Why do people work other jobs outside their field of interest, JD? Why did you?
Why did I?
Yeah. Because the porn industry was just thriving.
I mean, that's definitely true.
Yeah,
everyone's allowed just one.
Did you hear what I said though? Why do you work other jobs outside their field of interest? Yeah, JD. Why do you work other jobs outside your field of interest?
Why do I work other jobs outside of my field of interest?
Yeah, yeah. It is not a hidden penis question. At all. What is your field of interest? With dating
you just gotta,
women. So why do people work
you just gotta plow through
jobs? You gotta plow through it. All right. Now why
I think
why do you like BJ's?
I think a big reason why well, the reason why I did is because I didn't know how to get into the entertainment industry in the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people who aren't around the entertainment industry or have been introduced to it don't necessarily know how to do it, so they go for a career, they go for a job.
Yeah, but why did you do it?
Why did I do it?
Yeah, why did you choose to work a job that had nothing to do with your industry?
Because I had no idea how to get into it, and I needed to pay bills, which I was
So you took the job because it paid.
Correct.
And the thing you wanted to do didn't pay.
I didn't know how to make it pay. And I didn't realize that there were also job opportunities I could have had within the entertainment industry.
Yeah, like fluffers.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a big deal with people. They end up going, well, this is the easy check.
Exactly.
This is the easy check. But believe it or not, there are easy checks out there. You just have to be willing to do what you don't want to do within your industry to lead to what you want to do. Because right now you're choosing to do something you don't want to do to afford your life until the thing you want to do works out, which is exactly the same thing. The only difference is you're not in a position to build and cultivate relationships, market your brand, develop an understanding of the industry, find opportunity, like all the stuff that is important to growing a career. You can't do that when you're working a job that has nothing to do with your industry. Because a
big part of it is, like you said, it's like building relationships, and you can't build relationships within your field of interest if you're working, in something completely different. Like you can't build entertainment relationships when you're working, say, as a police officer, or you're working as
you might be able to
somewhere.
Because you never know who someone is or who someone knows.
That's true.
But that it's not the norm. It's not the standard. There was a time when I knew I had to stop working a job when I worked at King Cullen, and my relationships from King Cullen got me a job working for Gerber as a district manager. Like I became a big boss, and I went, oh crap, I gotta stop working. I gotta figure out how to
not be in this industry.
Well, not just that industry. I realized the thing I wanted to achieve, I was doing in a different industry. And I was like, all I have to do is just get into the industry I want to.
And then do this.
Even as a cashier like in the mentality. I was like,
Yeah.
well, I was a cashier, which is almost the lowest block on the totem pole.
I mean, it kind of is.
No. Trust me, it is not.
What's the lowest block on the totem pole?
The people who push the carts.
The
'Cause-
customers?
No, the cart collectors.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're usually,
Yeah.
not they don't
Get the cart,
they
put
don't
the
know how to eat food properly. They have sippy cups at 30. But I'm sorry. Tell me I am wrong.
You're definitely not
Tell me-
in any way wrong.
And sometimes if you're a cashier, they're like, "Can you go collect carts?" Bill is out there picking his ass. You're like, ugh. And then you're out there and people are like, "Oh, look at him. He must be." And you're like, no, I'm a cashier. I'm a cashier. I'm like close to the, but anyway, that's not. So
That's funny.
I started making a plan, which ended up working 3 jobs to get, which one was Guitar Center, Blockbuster, and I went back to King Cullen. I did overnights at
Nice.
King Cullen.
And then you just built up your financial foundation.
Yeah, and then I was just like, goodbye.
Bye,
Bye.
Goodbye. See you later.
But then the other thing that started getting me in is I started consulting bands, or I started promoting shows. Like I started doing shows.
So was this the beginning of BBR?
No. The beginning of BBR was 97, 96 for the illustration company.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
But during Tenebra's growth, I was like, I already have this company name. And I even asked Dan, I was like, Dan, is it all right if like I just do it, like I grow the band through the BBR, like as if BBR was like, signed us or whatever. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, all right. And that was like the first step of like taking BBR like seriously, I guess, like to the next level, because then it became a new entity.
Yeah, because it wasn't just you doing the illustrations. It was you going, oh, what can I do to grow, this thing that I have within
Yeah.
this industry?
Yeah.
Make the beginnings of a titan.
And it was also something like Dan had nothing to do with BBR. Like it was my thing. But anytime I did a show, it wasn't Tenebra Presents. It was BBR Presents, or whatever the case may be. If I did the website, it says created by BBR. So like I just started. I even said we were signed to a booking deal to BBR because
That's what you were doing.
Yeah, I literally was doing that, So, and then if like I would get some of our friends' bands, what would they do? I would book them onto a BBR show, and they knew it was a BBR show. And then you get the tickets, and sometimes the tickets would say BBR on them. Sometimes, not every time. It depended on the show. But anyway, I was in that situation where I could focus on doing that. And slowly but surely, BBR became. But then I was doing websites for music studios, and I was doing websites for other people, and then I was doing graphic artwork for people. But it was all people in the industry, and then I was working literally working for studios. So
And you're doing it as under BBR.
Well, I was being hired as Thomas, but I was taking money as BBR because I had
Gotcha.
relationships as Thomas. And they were like, "Hey, do you want to be a runner at the studio?" And I was
they
like,
just-
"Fuck yeah!"
And they just paid you.
They just
through
paid
BBR.
me. Yeah. Well, actually, they paid me cash, and then I put it into a BBR account.
There you
go. And then at the end of the year, I got to take out the percentage and pay the taxes.
That works.
But for some reason, I wasn't paying any personal taxes. It was so
It
weird.
was great.
Yeah, it was great. However, the reason that ended up becoming a viable skill was I was literally doing things I hated. I didn't really like working at a studio. I didn't really like making websites. I didn't really like. I enjoyed it as a thing. Like I was like, I'm good. I'm learning how to do it. I'm good at it. I got to do it for myself anyway. So since I'm learning it, this will give me a chance to learn it even better. But I'm getting paid. The artwork. I've always loved doing art, but I didn't like doing it as like, this is what I want to do.
But by doing so, you hone your skill with that, and you learn new things, and you're able to grow.
Nah, forget that part. The important part is, what was I really doing? I was building relationships in the industry, which eventually led me to the showcase that led us to that contract deal that ultimately led to the band breakup. But
we want
we
to
won't talk about that.
we want to sign you for exactly what you're doing. Well, we want to change our band to Evanescence.
Dude, that was the craziest conversation. I'm like, but they want to sign us for the theater thing. like the theater performance. Yeah, but you can't really sing, and Evanescence is maybe you could just do the background stuff. Like, and I was like, all right, I'll bring it because I was still in the mindset of like
Teamwork. Yeah.
one for all for one. And I went back and I was just like, yeah. And they were like, when you're ready to take this seriously, you come back to me. But I had already blown. That was like the third time that guy gave me even a chance.
Oof.
So
What
after
were the other 2 times?
the first time when he was the first time was after I gave him the CD, and he was just an old.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but he was just an old guy to me. And I was like, I'm not going to give him a CD. And then I went back and I went, you know what? I'm going to give you a CD. And he was like, all right, thanks, man. And then he came back and tapped my shoulder. He goes, this is true. And this is what? And he goes, thegreatestband.com. I says, absolutely. And he was like, all right, I want to talk to you. And then we sat in the car and he put it on. And in my head, I'm like, ooh, he's listening it, but he's talking over it. And my head was like, why is he talking over it? How is he listening to how awesome the music is? Because again, remember, I'm still an idiot. And then he lowered it. And he's like, oh, listen to this. I got news. By the way, he had to have been in his like 60s or 70s at this time. Whatever. It's like 20 years ago, whatever it is. Whatever it is. I was 20. I don't even remember. He was already old.
He was an old guy.
And he lowers it and he goes, my car was just put in the newspaper for having one of the best and loudest sound systems.
He has it lower.
Yeah. And he goes, listen to this. He lowered it so he could let us know what we were about to listen to. And he brings it up and the car's like, and I'm just like, damn, this is a good sound system. And then he lowers it and he goes, by the way, I'll probably never listen to your music, but I'm interested in the fact that you branded yourself, like, and that's the first step to knowing someone's onto something. And so he had us come to a meeting, and then we went there. It was Dan, me, and Justin. And then he basically
Long hair, Justin.
Yeah, it was long hair, Justin.
Right.
Long hair, Justin. He basically was like, all right, we had our meeting, whatever, and then he was like, all right, we'll talk soon. But then as they were leaving, he says, hey, can I talk to you for a second? And I said, yeah, sure. He goes, I want to sign you. I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. I was like, awesome. Yeah, let's do it. And he goes, no. I think you're not hearing me. And I was like, well, he's like, I want to sign you. And I was like, oh no, they're like my brothers. And I turned him down. And then it basically like, it was sort of, we became friends. Mm-hmm. So then there was like a more nonchalant conversation of that. And I was like, I can't just, but I'm an idiot because I should have taken the deal.
Because you're the person with the savvy, the one who is doing all the business decisions.
All the business decisions.
So this is something that you brought up in the past and like past conversations where like, it's say like, someone ends up wanting, like you have like a team. So like with like the circle, someone wants to sign specifically with you. You'd be like, yeah, sure. You have the creative freedom to be like, all right, you signed just me. I'm still going to hire everyone who is part of the team to work on this.
Yeah, but let's say I couldn't hire them. I would still grow my power in that industry. And then when the chance came where I can do what I want, I would bring them up. And that's the work together, grow together, rise together mentality, which in my mind, I didn't understand that. I was still on the, we have to do it together or nothing, which is insane thinking. Like if opportunities come to you, take the opportunities. That's how Pink became successful.
Because it doesn't necessarily mean that you can't rise together. If one person gets an opportunity, you have the ability to eventually bring everyone up instead of just everyone getting that opportunity all at once.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like when you're at the beach, the waves have different heights, different levels. It's not always the same.
Yeah, I mean, I don't go to the beach because of the sun, but yeah, I believe you.
You're definitely.
Am I wearing a flannel at the beach?
Well, you might.
Well, you're saying a t-shirt is there to keep me warm. So if the sun is out, I guess I'm wearing a flannel. Anyway, but the point of the story is that you have to work within your field, and I was doing things I didn't want to do, but that led me to opportunities that I still utilize to this day. I don't have a day job. I don't work outside of my field of interest. So, like even like when I get hired to write someone else's script, I want to write my scripts. but I'm still writing scripts. And that means I get to hone my skill, which is at an expert level at this point, and I get paid for it. And it doesn't matter that I'm not writing my script. I am still a professional writer. Like I'm still like people, they don't think like that. They think if I'm not doing what I want to do, then it's not really a career in that industry. And that's not necessarily accurate. But if you're willing to do what you don't like to do outside of your field of interest until you get your quote unquote big break, then just work in the field of your interest doing things you don't like to do. But at least now you're building and cultivating relationships. You're organizing a brand value. You're learning the industry, the ins and outs.
You're actually building a career to do the thing that you want to be doing.
Yeah, because if you find yourself in upper management after being like a cart pusher, which would be an amazing task, after 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, even 15 years, you've just did what you could have done in the career of your interest, but you did it in a different career because it was the safe way to go. And that's, but anyway. All right. So JD, next question.
Can the answer be purple?
How important is a plan?
Plan is very important.
Yeah. What was your plan? Wait. No.
For what?
That's not what I'm asking. How did you guys think having a plan was important when you were starting in a band?
We did. We did not. What we thought was important.
Wait. I gotta lean in so when I write the social media post tomorrow, it really happened. All right. So I leaned. This is interesting. I leaned in. This means I'm interested. Actually, my back is just hurting. So go ahead.
You might want to lean back.
Wait.
I'm waiting.
You're gonna see that I'm extremely interested. My eyes are about to pop. My eyes got wide. What else?
Your nostrils flare.
Oh, this is so interesting. I'm leaning, eye popping, and blaring.
I'm just expecting you to have I don't know, a heart attack.
Go ahead.
So we thought having a plan was important, but we never actually sat and wrote anything down. And the things that we focused on were the things that I've already mentioned, which was, we have to get shirts, we have to write songs, we have to make an album, we have to figure out where we're gonna tour, we have to figure out how much money we're gonna need to tour, and how much money we're gonna have to save up.
Money.
Yeah.
Well, listen. How much we have to save instead of getting sponsorships and stuff.
Exactly.
So how important is a plan? A plan is extremely important. It gives you direction. It allows you to focus on what you need to do. Stay on point. That's another part of a plan. So if you have a plan with your 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10 years, all written out as main dream goals, and then you create the SMART goals that lead to the success of that. And also your goals, your first year goals, and all the SMART goals leading to the first year goals should be influencing your 3rd, 5th, 7th, and 10th year goals, and so forth and so forth. Everything you do should be affecting everything you do. It doesn't have to do it in major ways. You could do it in small moments, but you want to do things that grow on top of each other so that you're ultimately working towards your 10-year goal and not necessarily going, all right, I finished my first year goal. Now I can focus on my next goal, which is over the course of 3 years. All right, I finished those 3 years. All right, now I could start. Like, you don't want to do that. You want to always be focusing on. So if you have a 10-year goal, you should have stuff in your first year goal
to help you lead to that 10-year goal.
Yeah.
Because like you said just now, everything you do must affect everything you do.
Yeah. You don't want to just kind of work by your pants. And businesses that succeed have a plan, and their plan, even artists and entertainers. And that's why you see people growing into bigger companies. Like, Bradley Cooper ended up signing the First Look deal. He ended up creating a production company, and he's an actor.
Mm-hmm.
But he's now an actor, writer, director, producer. He's doing all these things, but he still gets to act because that's his quote unquote passion. But he's now in control of that passion. He's allowed to do what he wants, which is the whole point of everything. So, JD, with that said, what things should be in a plan? Your thoughts of what should be in a plan, not what you think my thoughts are.
Well, back in the day. Well, we thought we needed.
No, I mean like right now,
right now,
but without like if you were to make a plan
right now without having any Thomas knowledge.
Yeah, what would you do?
I
could use Tom knowledge because you don't always necessarily write a correct plan. So
well, I'm not going to use any Tom knowledge.
Oh,
so
I noticed. I mean, in the answer, not in general.
I would say, if I was an entertainer,
yeah,
figure out,
hypothetically speaking.
hypothetically speaking.
All right. So how about you are an entertainer?
I am an entertainer.
no,
I would
This
say
guy-
focus on
but what do you focus on?
what. Well,
You're saying you're saying it in the sense of it's hypothetical and that you're not actually the person doing it.
well, I would say without any prior knowledge, because you want me to answer without any.
Yeah.
knowledge.
So in first person.
First person.
Don't talk in third person. Well, if I was in a situation
Well-
where I had toes,
I mean, I do have toes.
prove it.
I would say focus on the craft first and not focus on the business.
So, but is that a plan?
That is not a plan. So the plan would be figure out how to make a product.
All right.
So
Let's
me being
get
a
off this
musician?
conversation. Let's move on to something more interesting.
all right.
All right. What do you think should be in a plan now where you are?
You should definitely write out what your missions.
Now, I'm not asking you what you should definitely like. What do you think should be in a plan?
I think you should definitely write out your missions, morals, and ideals, because if you have that written out and you understand what it is that you want to do
Yeah.
overall, it will help keep you on point.
So that should be in your plan is to write out your mission, morals, and ideals.
No, your missions, morals, and ideals should be in your plan.
All right. So what things should be in the plan beyond that?
Beyond that,
Yeah.
could-
And how do you write out your missions, morals, and ideals?
well, you figure
In the
out,
plan, it just says write out your missions, morals, and ideals.
well, you figure out.
Is that what it
is
says in your
that-
plan?
And you figured out what is important to you.
No, I'm just saying. In your plan, would it just say write out my missions, morals, and ideals?
This would be a checklist to write out for the plan.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going.
So you would write it out, and that would go into the plan.
Wait. Let me write some of this down here. This is good stuff. This
You
is
know, I'm
good
glad.
stuff. Let's see. All right. Ready, folks? This is gonna be fun.
I'm ready.
Write out your missions, morals, and what?
Ideals.
Ideals. Aren't those the same things as morals?
I don't know. Are they, Thomas?
Yeah, I'm asking you.
I don't know.
You really don't know? Because you did have an answer at one time in life.
Well,
Then you found out morals have to do with society and ideals have to do with person. The morals of your society dictate.
and ideals was
Yeah. Do you believe in the morals of certain societies, or are you against certain societal
and
morals?
ideals is what
and
you hold
ideals is-
within your
yeah.
true core of
Correct.
being.
Correct. Look at him going for his thing. We already had this conversation. You don't have to look it up. I was right. Okay, keep going. What else should be in this plan?
You should definitely write.
You
out-
should definitely. But what do you think you should do?
That's what I was about to answer.
So I would.
I would.
Yeah.
Should definitely. You should write out. I would write out.
I would write out. What?
There's an echo.
Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
He
He doesn't even know. What would you write out? What would you write out?
I would write out.
My
market.
My
I would go
market.
to market analysis.
My market analysis. Okay.
I would have
What does that even look like? Okay. I would have
my goals for
my goals.
1, 3, 5, 7, and 10
1,
years.
3, 5, 7, and 10 years. Okay, what else?
I would have a breakdown of my monthly
I would have a breakdown of my
overhead,
just monthly or monthly average.
monthly average overhead.
Average overhead
This way I could figure out how much it would cost for me to
oh.
operate per year.
to figure out what operation costs. Annual operation costs.
I'd figure out a plan to steadily grow.
Wait, you're gonna figure out a plan? I mean, this is the plan,
I would write out the plan.
right? What plan though? Write out the plan.
The plan.
What is the plan? What should be in your plan?
The plan.
What is in it?
I would write out my expected growth over my what's it? My
Yeah,
my average yearly growth.
growth for my average yearly growth. Okay, what else? So every year you want to grow.
Ideally, yes.
Okay, what else? What else is write out the plan? What else is in that part?
What?
You said write out the plan. So what else is in that? You literally, I said, look, this is the question, okay? Just so you're on point. Okay. What things should be in a plan? And you said write out the plan.
Yeah, well, that doesn't need to be there. You can take that out.
No, it's there. It's there. That's
Well,
what you
then-
said. That means you're not listening. So, what else is in write out the plan?
Well,
Which is what I thought we were doing. the whole
well,
time.
that's
no.
we
Keep
are
going.
writing out
Keep
the plan.
going.
We don't need
What?
we don't need to write out the plan.
So we don't write out the plan.
We are writing out the plan. But you
Oh,
don't have
then
to
why do
write
I got to
out
take it out?
because you're writing it in the middle. Of
Wouldn't
the
that be the first thing you put in the plan? Is a SMART goal to write out the plan?
Why would you put it in the plan to write out the plan?
Because you want to stick to it.
All right, so then we'll put that at the top.
Keep going.
It's not. It's not the top.
Just don't worry
Not
about
at-
it because
not
we're
at the
gonna make
top.
fun of the whole thing. Just keep,
Right.
just keep going. What else should be in your plan?
You should have if you have
Yeah, you
an
should.
entire company, you should
You
have a
should.
list of
wait,
everybody.
You should if you have an entire.
No, we can delete that whole thing.
Are you
Please don't
sure?
have that.
Because I'm
Yeah.
asking you what you would have in your plan.
All right, so you can get rid of that.
Get rid of what?
You just got rid of that thing I just started writing.
I did. Yeah, I
Right.
erased it.
I would have a list of
I would
all
have.
the people who are on my team and what their responsibilities are.
How many people are on your team right now?
Right now, you and me. But then, if anyone that I plan on, let's say eventually we have, or I have.
Oh, now it's you. Oh, see, I told you, you're not part of BBR.
You said from my perspective.
Okay, go ahead. Come on, Freud. What else would you have in your plan?
Well,
That's it. Don't give up. This is good so far. I
So
would.
you have a list. Of
I
all the
wouldn't write
people.
any of this, but what would you have? Keep going.
You have a list of all the people.
You said I would have a list of people
Okay, I was
and their
making sure-
responsibility.
I'm just making sure you got that down.
Yeah, no, I definitely got that down because that's funny. Because that's in a business plan, but not necessarily.
I thought that's what we're going over for the plan.
No, because a business plan is different than your plan.
But I thought the business plan was
A
the
business plan breaks down the positions, the responsibilities, the missions, what is, things you want to accomplish, but then it has the 1, 3, 5, 7, 10
Well,
year
then I'm
goals.
answering a completely different question because I'm
I know.
answering business plan.
Yeah, but a business plan is
So,
different
so
than
let me ask for clarification then on what you mean by the plan. Are you asking,
what things should be in a plan.
well, to write out a business plan?
Well, well, let's say you're going to do social media posts. Would you write out a business plan?
You would not.
Oh, all right. So
But
why
you're-
would I be talking about a business plan?
Well, you said
I'm asking
overall
what
plan.
your plan is in general. What would
Plan?
you write in your general plan? Not a business plan, just your plan. Just what should be in a plan. Like if I wrote a social media plan, if I wrote a grow client plan, if I wrote get my album finished plan, they would have literally the same stuff in it. The variables would be that
The
the
specifics.
wording would change.
The idea is that you
But-
should always be living truthfully to what it is that you stand for.
All right, but you would put that in the plan? Living truthfully
Well, I would
to
write
what
down
you stand for?
the goal is to represent my missions, morals, and ideals.
Okay, so let's write that down.
That is the goal.
Now we're adding live truthfully to my missions. We're back to this one again. Morals and ideals.
Well, that's what's always going to keep you,
Mm-hmm.
in theory,
Yeah, I got you. I got you.
anchored.
What else would you have in your plan? Just in general. Not an actual physical task, but what should be in a plan?
Give yourself timely goals to maintain. Whatchamacallit? What's the word I'm thinking of?
I don't know.
This way you can hold yourself accountable. So
Give yourself timely goals to hold yourself accountable.
So depending on whatever the task that you have ahead of you, just make sure you have SMART goals broken down.
Oh, have SMART goals broken down, which is different than timely goals.
Yes, because SMART goals are was it
Specific, measurable, attainable,
Attainable,
realistic, and timely. All right. So technically, give yourself timely goals should be at the end of have specific goals that are measurable so you can attain them in a realistic, timely manner.
That one.
Anyway, so what else? What else would you have in a plan? You could tell. You could say you want to stop. You can give up.
Never give up. Never surrender.
You want to give up? You can give up.
Yeah.
All right, we'll give up. All right, so write out your missions, morals, and ideals. That should be in your plan.
Yes.
Okay. I would write out my market analysis.
Oh no! No. I took that away because I was answering a completely different question.
So you wouldn't
I wouldn't
write out a market analysis?
I was answering.
I mean, yeah, it's fine. We could take it out, but you're saying
that
you
was for-
would. I just want clarification.
This is for a business plan, is what I was answering for.
That's fine. So you're saying you don't want that.
We definitely need a market analysis.
So now you want to back it.
I felt like you were going to read.
I'm
through
just
the entire
asking.
business plan thing.
Oh, well, I'm
So-
reading everything you wrote.
What I was saying though, in the middle of that was that
So do you want it? Should I delete it?
we're going to add that to that new list that we started.
So you want that? So we're gonna keep market analysis in.
Yes.
Okay. Would I have my 1, 3, 5, 7, and 10 year goals?
You would not for. The
So you
business-
want to take that out or leave that in?
We're going to take that out.
Okay. So that would stay. I would have a breakdown of my monthly average overhead.
Take that out.
You would take that out?
Yes.
This would also stay. All right. Figure out what annual operation costs are.
Well, if the monthly thing is staying, then we'll keep that.
All right, so we'll keep that one.
This-
Write out the plan. Wait, what?
You just go disclose.
This goes. Write out the plan. Would you write out a plan?
That'll be at the top. I don't know why I didn't move it back to the top.
All right,
like I said.
we'll delete that. So we don't write out a plan. My expected growth for my average annual growth, yearly growth. Do we do that? We keep that in, or are we taking that out?
Sure, let's keep it.
Really?
Well, the other month, the money stuff is.
So you want to keep my expected growth for my average yearly growth?
You'd figure.
I'm just
out,
asking. I'm just
you'd
asking.
Figure out
All right.
the average yearly growth.
Yeah.
So that's what that should say.
Okay. Wait. What do you do? What do you
You
want?
figure out your percentage growth.
You figure out your percentage growth?
Yeah.
Not expected growth.
Yes, expected growth. Sorry.
You figure out your percentage expected growth for my average yearly growth?
Take it off.
You want to take that out?
Take the whole thing out.
All right. This I would keep. This. I don't know why you keep taking this stuff out. I would have a list of people and their responsibilities.
Keep it
Why do you want to keep that?
because you've kept everything else.
Yeah, but what? No, I haven't. I didn't keep. Oh wait, yeah. But
Because you need to understand who is in your network.
well, this isn't talking about who's in your network. This is I would have a list of people and their responsibilities pertaining to the task.
Mm.
So
You still need to understand who you're working with.
all right, so we're gonna keep this.
We're going to keep that.
Okay. Live truthfully to my missions, morals, and ideals.
Should definitely keep that one.
All right, but what? Okay. None of these are specific, folks. We're just saying things right now.
Mm.
Give yourself timely goals to hold yourself accountable.
Why am I being accountable?
Do you want to keep that?
Yes.
All right. Have SMART goals broken down.
Yes.
All right. But that's all you would have?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So JD, do you
Yes,
have a
Thomas.
plan?
Nope.
See, you are funny. That was very funny.
See, I'm here. I'm the comic relief.
Are you serious? You don't have a plan?
Nope.
Why not?
Because I haven't written it out.
How important is a plan?
Very important.
Okay. What things should be in a plan?
More than that.
And do you have a plan?
No.
I just want to make sure that line of question was. Are you joking? You don't have a plan?
Nope.
Why not?
It's a good question. Don't have an answer.
All right. So I guess the next question is just going to be funny. What is that plan?
Close my eyes, spin around, and point.
You really don't have a plan?
I have not had a plan that I have worked on since you first gave me the business plan template.
Yeah, but it's
So no, I
the
don't.
business
have a plan.
plan isn't what we're necessarily talking about. Just plan in general.
Yep. Nope.
You don't have any plans.
I mean, the plan is to grow BBR, but I don't have everything written out.
Well, you don't have to. I have it.
Yeah, but I should still have things written out so I understand it, and it's, so it's right in front
Yeah,
of my
but we're
face.
not talking about the business plan. Like, for example, your album, you wrote a plan out for that, right?
Nope.
How important is a plan?
Very important.
Okay. What things should be in a plan?
What was that?
What things should be in a plan?
A lot of stuff.
Do you have a plan?
No.
So funny. All right. By the way, artist brain is would you say artist brain has corrupted this part of the process?
It definitely has.
How do you feel about it? How does it make you feel? Please
Anxious.
tell us how you feel about it. Why do you feel anxious?
Well,
You don't need a plan.
I mean, you definitely do.
I mean, if you want to be successful, but like, you know. so why don't you have a plan?
Anxiety.
Anxiety made it so you didn't write a plan? How's that work out?
Well, because the artist brain took over and went, I need to make this thing because I need to just make this thing to make myself feel better and give myself,
Yeah.
you know, that
Validation.
the emotional release of all the, you know,
Yeah.
anxiety. But then doing so, not focusing on, oh, I should make a plan this way I can
Yeah.
make the best of
Yeah.
this in relation to my career and like the business aspect of things.
Yeah.
So when I was finished with all the art, it's like, oh, I don't have a plan for all the stuff that I just did.
Which then you'd realize the plan includes stuff that happened before you record.
Correct.
Also, some of the things you should have got in there is like, how do I want the album to sound? That should be in plan. Like, what kind of research do I want for sound, samples? Like, so you have an idea of how to record it, right? Where to record it, what kind of mics to use, right? Things like that.
I mean, I've always wanted to do what they did in Metalocalypse in that one episode where they had the grounding issue, so they had to record the guitar solo with Squizguard jumping out of an airplane.
I mean, that's the only way to really enjoy life. But the other thing is, like, on your plan, it would have research, put 1 hour into researching this process, and then take notes, while taking notes on the process, then try to duplicate the process that has nothing to do with my music. But like, that's what, like, if you, but you're saying, if I remember correctly, not originally, you did not, especially just now, you just said it because it was to appease the anxiety. Your goal was not to record a high quality album for the public. It was just to record an album that you liked, for you, for the appeasement of the anxiety. Correct?
That was the initial intention.
Yeah.
Correct.
So then you wouldn't actually have to do that other stuff. But the moment you want validation on the return of your product, you need a plan, right?
Correct.
I feel like you don't want to have this conversation.
No, I'm answering the question.
No, you're not really answering. You're yes and a no. But all right, so we'll move on. What would you have done differently?
I would have had a plan.
I already had this conversation in my head before, and I wrote it all out on the side.
Knowing exactly what I was saying. Yeah, I definitely would have written out a plan of just everything.
For anything.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
how many things have you not written a plan out for versus how many things have you written a plan out for without me nudging you?
Most things I have not written a plan out for.
Now, why not? Anxiety?
I mean, just being a putz.
Well, look.
I think it's more of just like the idea of sitting down to like plan over everything, the anxiety.
You don't have to plan over everything.
Well, in order to plan, you need to plan.
Yeah, but you don't have to plan everything. A plan is generalized in SMART goals. So if you come up with like,
these are the things I want to do, and break them down.
And that breakdown doesn't have to be extremely concise. Like, for example, for the not-for-profit, you're basically bullet pointed what needs to be done. We got to do this, and this. That's it.
And then here's the link to the forms.
Yeah, but you don't have on there like on Thursday for an hour work on filling this. Like, that would be like going intently into it. But if you could give yourself, because if you live by the time block rule, which is I won't work more than 20, 30, 40 or an hour.
We've definitely broken that rule a lot in the last 2 weeks.
Well, there's a difference from breaking it versus living by it versus being in control of it. If I work 90 minutes instead of an hour, I'm still in control of my time because I'm not letting the project control me. I'm just choosing to do another 30 minutes. Then what do? I take 30 minutes off in the next block. Like I do that because I don't let things control me. But if I just work all day to get something done, that would be something controlling me. You know what I'm saying?
Unless it's a deadline thing. It's like,
But if there's a deadline, you have to say to yourself, when is the deadline? Right? And then you have to break it up. You know, I have a deadline by the end of the month, but I know if I work an hour to 2 hours a day on it, I'll get done with it before it's even due. And I wouldn't have to use the 2 hours, is what I'm saying. Like, I think I have 5 hours left of what I have to do. So if I dedicate 2 hours a day, I know
you're going to be done by Wednesday.
Yeah, but I'm also giving myself an out. If I work on something for an hour, I could go, you know what, I'm not going to do another hour. You know, it doesn't mean I'm going to do 3 hours the next day.
Yeah.
So that's how I set control over my plan, right? But if you live by those time blocks, then you don't have to necessarily write, I will work on this for 30 minutes, you know, but you should still know what you're doing and why you're doing it in your plan.
Write out a plan.
All right. So what would you have done differently? You would write out the plan?
I definitely would have powered through the anxiety and brought myself down from just letting the artist brain take over, and I would have written out a plan.
All right. Now, if you could go back in time.
With a DeLorean?
No. Because just focus, JD. If you could go back in time and live the life again, with your knowledge now, what would you do different? How would you do that differently?
How far back are we talking?
When you decided to be a musician, and you were like, I want to play a musician.
Oh, I definitely would have focused more on
not writing a plan. No.
I would have focused on figuring out what our brand was, what the first band that I was in, Psychosis.
Yeah.
You know, I would have figured out what we stood for. I would have marketed that. I would have gotten.
So still no plan first. See what you just did though? Your artist brain just took over.
Well, then I would have written out a full plan.
Well, now you're just saying that. But what happened was
I'm saying it now.
You jumped to the brand because the brand, what does my band stand for? Which is you falling back to the thing. And the brand is only a small part of the plan. But if it's just something you're doing, because that's the thing you went to first, you're letting your artist brain control the construction of your task.
I have a question.
What?
Does a brand not dictate how you would execute a plan?
Does not.
Can you elaborate?
Yeah, because what I want to do in my plan is not it has nothing to do with my missions, morals, or ideals. They're tasks needed to accomplish things. Now,
because you're saying within the plan, the tasks needed to succeed do not, these are the things that need to happen. The missions, morals, and ideals dictate the specifics of how those are going to get done.
It's the how. Yeah, it's the how you will do it. So
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, the things that need, like, for example, if you look at our not-for-profit list, none of that has to do with our missions, morals, and ideals. Fill out this form. Send this form to here.
This is true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to know my missions, morals, and ideals.
Send a sticky note.
Right?
I'm like, oh, here's a bit of wisdom.
Yeah. Here's your wisdom for the day, Senator.
Potions.
However, what are we getting a not-for-profit for?
That is the missions, morals, and ideals.
Yeah, but we already our plan is to ultimately start a not-for-profit to blah 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 blah, right? Correct. Okay, but when I started the company, I wrote out when I started BBR, I loosely had a plan. Like, I loosely was like, these are the things I've been doing. Over the years, I've become more specific. I've grown as an individual. I've learned what I really want. I've learned that some things that I wanted aren't actually things. They're byproducts of effort, so like if I ended up doing this, which is something I really want, these things will come to me, right?
So you've adjusted your plan,
which you should feel comfortable knowing that
the plan is there as guidance, but it is also malleable to adjust to the situations you're in.
You might have a 10-year plan and in your third year realize, oh my god, I'm achieving my 10-year plan.
How did I make $50 million?
Well, that making $50 million should never be in your plan. Because you're limiting yourself on earnings by saying it. You're limiting, like, I'm
just saying, like, by your third year, it's like, oh, how did I make $50 million in 3 years?
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with my plan. Because money has nothing to do with the plan.
How did it become king of Argentina in 3 years?
I don't know. Wipes blade, wipes blood off blade. But you know, your plan is like, for example, your plan would start with the phrase, "I want to be successful in the music entertainment industry with my band." So now you have to say to yourself, I'm a nobody. My band has no value. No one knows who we are. So do I want to be successful with this band, or do I want to be successful in the music industry? Because those are two different plans. Because if you want to be successful with your band, now you have to validate that. You have to qualify that with, does band mean the people I am in this band with? Or does band mean with this band's brand, this band's purpose, this band's imagery? And if that's the case, why do you have Angels on the Battlefield, right? So that's how you would have to look at it. Once I realized I wanted to just be successful in the industry, I named my band Altanian. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it didn't matter, because I didn't want to be successful with that band, because I don't even care about Altanian as a band. Like, I want to be in the entertainment industry.
And Altanian is just for funsies.
It is for funsies.
But
However,
it's also,
it's a great part of my brand. It's not only just my personal brand, but BBR is a part of that, and Enchanted Isles is a part of that. The Circle, 21, like everything I write has something to do emotionally or philosophically with the brand that holds Altanian. I mean, By the Blood of the Rose, which is BBR, is literally the prayer. Like, you say, God bless you. Like, or God be with you.
So wait. So when people sneeze in Enchanted Isles, do they say "By the Blood of the Rose"?
No, because they don't know who Telmore and Altanian is. Only certain people do.
So do those people say that when you sneeze?
They might say "By the Blood of Rose," or like if they meet each other, and then like if they're, you know, like "May the Force be with you."
Oh yes.
They'll say "By the Blood of the Rose." Yeah. But
so it's like the secret thing. It's like with the shadow. It's like the sun is shining.
The sun is shining,
but the ice is slippery. Oh yeah, the Telmon.
Oh yeah, Telmon, dude.
There's one guy in there who's just like the taxi driver. I sense someone is coming.
Boom. But he's reading the book, How to Enhance Your Psychic Abilities.
Oh yeah.
That's why that part was funny.
I love that it's the dad from Everybody Loves Raymond.
Oh yeah.
You're
the grandfather.
Yeah.
Anyway,
putting on the
anyway, we're gonna be fined. You don't have copyright for that. But anyway, so you know, when you're writing out your plan, you would say what it is the plan is, and then you would qualify that plan to be what it is you want to do. So again, if you want to be successful in the entertainment industry with this band, which you would say Psychosis, that would be the thing you would have to do that you did differently, right? But then you would have to really sit back and think, what does that mean? What does that band mean? Does that band mean the members?
Does that mean what the brand stands for, the message of
the
brand?
And do you want to keep Psychosis as a name? So like if everyone left but you, do you keep going with Psychosis? If that's the case.
I hated that name.
So you wouldn't even put that in your plan. Technically, you didn't want that, which also, while you're doing that like self-awareness to figure out your plan, you would have found out that band is not what you wanted to do. You would have come to terms with
the fact that I wanted to be in the entertainment industry.
Yeah, it's you probably would have come to that point. Oh, I would say over time, not while working on that plan specifically, because you know, just the way I want to be with a band, I want to grow a company with the music and stuff like that. But that's how you would work out that plan. That isn't a business plan though. But once you have your plan, then you would write a business plan, and the business plan would have the specifics.
The plan is this is the points that I want to do, and the business plan goes into depth for that specific.
But does the stuff? I have a 50-page business plan.
How many pages is that?
It's maybe 6 or 7.
Oh, so 50.
Less than 56.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
50. I have a 50-page business plan, and I wouldn't even consider that a big business plan.
What is the largest business plan that you have ever personally seen?
Personally seen? I don't know, 400 or 500 pages.
Holy crap!
You know, but again,
whose plan is that?
Just businesses, like a donut shop would have a plan like that. A pizzeria would have a plan like that, because you're not selling pizza. Your goal is to create franchise. Your goal is to create brand. Your goal is to, like Pizza Hut. I personally, whatchamacallit, Crispy's Pizza is a franchise,
They are.
right? So their plan,
Hashtag crispy pizza.
Yeah.
Brooklyn,
Brooklyn,
New York. Guys.
their plan would have never been, make a successful restaurant. It would have been like, how do we create a brand out of Crispy's with a successful franchise?
Well, because there's two of them, right?
There's 3 or 4 or something.
Oh, really?
There's-
This is the one in Brooklyn, over in
yeah,
Baker
there's
Heights.
Brooklyn, Jersey, Staten Island.
I knew about the. I didn't realize that there was the Staten Island one.
Yeah. So, well, they're all from Staten Island.
Really?
Yeah.
So is that the original one, the Staten Island one, or is the Baker Heights one?
Diker Heights. I believe the Diker Heights is the new one because the owner that we know,
Yeah.
him and the brother went in on this one.
Gotcha. So who's the original owner?
The father.
So
The
father.
3 fathers. The 3. So there's
So the father,
the
guy that
fathers of all the older people that we know. They
Their
had fathers. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Started the Krispies, and then their sons opened that one, and then basically their sons also opened the Jersey one.
So they started the franchising.
They started a franchising, yeah. Which is
It definitely got a very strong like family vibe in there. Even if they're not like part of the family, it's like everyone's just super like friendly and casual.
Yeah, excellent penis massages.
Yeah, with sauce.
Well, if you work hard enough. So what would you do? What would you have done differently? As you're listening to this, think about what you would have done differently. Like listening to what we talk about, or even just yourself in general. If you could go back in time and say to yourself, hey, this is what you should have done. This is the plan. Then you have to say to yourself, why can't I do that now?
That's a good question.
Right? Ah, man, if I could go back, I would have done this. Well, you can start doing that now.
You don't have to go back in time.
You do if you want to meet your younger son. Wait, what is it? Oh, your father. If you want to meet your father. So Back to the Future. Because he said back in time.
Oh yeah, with the
Anyway.
that's the power of love. And that's how we got fined for this episode.
Yeah.
All the copyright.
Friggin', he can't even hear anymore. He can't even know we're doing it.
Huh? What, Huey Lewis?
Yeah. Right? Look at that, right? How do you spell his name?
H-U
I got it. Huey
Lewis.
Lewis
And the name.
is deaf. Oh, is deaf.
Really?
Well, today he can barely hear at all. In early
Aw.
2018, Lewis was diagnosed with Meniere's disease, Meniere.
Well, let me see.
Right? Meniere's?
Many years?
Meniere's?
Meniere's?
Whatever. A poorly understood disorder of the inner ear. He's not deaf.
He just can't hear very well.
The condition fluctuates. So on some days, conversation is relatively easily with the assistance of a hearing aid. And on other days, he is deaf.
That sucks.
You didn't know that?
No, I did not. That sucks.
Yeah, he lost most of his hearing in his right ear about 35 years ago, around the same time Back to the Future came out, and then the other year went. Wow.
That's why we wear earplugs.
What?
Huh? Oh.
What?
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 What do you want for dinner?
I don't know. So anyway, so why can't you do it now? Take action. Whatever you think you would say to your younger self, just do that now. Just start making the plan. Start setting out your goals. Figure out because you're never too old to get started. I mean, JD's definitely too old to do anything with his life, but you are never too old. There are people out there who were in their 50s when they started a new career. You know what I'm saying?
Was it Rodney Dangerfield didn't start until he was like late 40s, early 50s?
Yeah, you mean Jack Roy?
Is that his real name?
Yeah, Jack Roy. They wouldn't. He was an a-hole, so no one wanted to work with him.
So he went with.
So he went. His friend was like, "Hey, I would love to book you on the show, but no one liked you, so you got to change your name." And he was like, "I don't know, Rodney." He's like, "Great." And he goes, "What do you want for a last name?" He goes, "I don't know, you pick it." And the guy saw something like I believe that's the story. And then he like saw something that said Dangerfield, and
like that one.
Rodney was like, "Yeah, that's good. That's good."
That's funny.
And then also the red tie and the black suit He did
Well, that's because he said he was like super poor and couldn't afford anything.
he
else.
couldn't afford anything else, and he did what was that one show that was big back then? Here for the really big show. That guy, Jackie Mason, maybe? No, no, not Jackie Mason.
I don't know.
Rodney's
Rodney Dangerfield. But yeah, no, you said
Dangerfield's
he's he got
first
started.
TV show. He didn't
Really?
get started late.
He got his
he
career.
retired. He retired a failure. Him and his wife was a dancer and stuff like that. They made a promise that if they got to a certain age, it would just stop. But he was still writing, like he was still writing jokes, but he didn't perform. And he started selling like house siding, and he just couldn't do it anymore. He just wanted to keep doing. So he started doing comedy. But let's see, where's his first?
Hey, got no respect.
Hey, this is fucking gay. What is the Benny? No. What's the name of the show?
Rodney Dangerfield. Whoa, was that him?
Yeah, that's him.
Oh wow, he was old when he was young.
Jack Roy, or his birth name was actually Jacob Rodney Cohen, but he went back Jack Roy, and
1921, November 22nd.
And also his mom or something was his sister. I don't know. It was some crazy thing.
Like
like
his
that.
mom was his sister.
Something like that.
Ugh. Sister mommy.
He was the son of Jewish parents.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
It
doesn't matter.
Early career.
Oh.
What's that say? We got Rodney Dangerfield.
I'm just looking for the name of the show.
Career search.
I just want the show. Ed Sullivan Show. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he did the Ed Sullivan Show. Yeah, it took a while. He did the Ed Sullivan Show, and he had the black suit and the red tie. But he couldn't afford another one. They asked him to come back on. He says, yeah, sure. And he wore that, and he did so well. But now he was the red tie, black suit guy.
So he had to.
Because of branding. And he's like, I have to do it now. And it's so much a part of him that it became his logo and all this other stuff. Fun fact, he asked the people that he was putting the house signing up on if he could watch the Ed Sullivan Show on their TV because he was going to be on. And they're like, yeah, okay. And they did it to, just be like, yeah, all right. And then they were like, oh my God, the guy who's on Ed Sullivan is doing our... Isn't that funny? That's funny.
That's really funny.
Yep. Anyway.
And that's how Rodney Dangerfield became, Fat Man.
Wait, what? He did play the devil. He was the original devil in Little Nicky, and then his son became the new devil, which was the guy who played the wolf in Quentin Tarantino.
Oh yeah, Harvey Keitel.
Harvey Keitel, and then Harvey Keitel's two kids who were fighting for the new. Well, they weren't fighting for it, but they were going to be crowned the new devils. Was Adam Sandler and then some other guy.
I thought there were. I thought there were three.
There were three kids.
It was I thought it was Adam Sandler and then two brothers.
Maybe it was, but the blonde ended up getting her right. How many brothers in Little Nicky? They almost didn't release that show.
Oh my God! Well, they had to redo all of the dubbing, right?
Yeah, because it was terrible. Nicky may be the spawn of Satan, but his two brothers, Cassius and Adrian, I don't remember, are reasonably present. Who are they, though? What do they even look like?
Fun fact, Little Nicky is the movie that got me into heavy metal.
Oh, see, it's the JD Show, everyone.
You're welcome. Lucifer.
Look at a Little Nicky.
Oh, yeah.
Look at what happened.
No, I totally. It's been so long since I've actually seen that movie that I totally forgot that Rodney Dangerfield was in it.
And it influenced your whole life, and you don't even care about it.
Well, listen, Ozzy Osbourne was the important thing in that movie for me.
That's not really Ozzy. They used CGI and took two midgets.
I believe that. Sharon!
Doesn't he bite that?
Oh yeah, he bites like a head.
No, he kills the brother. Isn't that how the brother dies?
Yeah, but he like bites the head off because they're making fun of the bat thing.
Yeah. He's like, oh. That's so funny. So funny. His best friend's in that movie. Well, his best friend's in all his movies.
Well, don't they do the back and forth? It's the grandma's boy guy.
Yeah. That movie is just perfect.
Genius.
It's so good. It's ridiculous.
How can they see me?
I wish they made more movies, but then I found out they did make another movie, and it was like Into the Wilderness or something, and it's like one of the worst movies. Into the Wild, it might be. Into the Wild. Where they're like That's not it.
That's
Maybe
the,
it is.
yeah, that's based off the guy that dies in the van or whatever.
Maybe it's Into the Wilderness. I don't know. Wait.
Oh, yeah, I forgot John Lovitz was in that
Movie comedy about finding Bigfoot. Yeah, Bigfoot. Called Strange Wilderness.
Strange Wilderness.
That movie's just so bad.
I don't
It's
think I've even
so
heard of
bad.
it.
The funniest thing about that movie was the trailer, and I couldn't stop laughing because the guys, the show is about this wilderness show called Strange Wilderness, and the show is about to get canceled, because the ratings are bad.
Mhm.
But the kid is doing like overdubbing, and he's like, and here we have, whatever, the great monkey of blah 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 blah. And then it gets to the sharks, and he goes, and here the most fearsome shark in the water is the great white. And the great white had like buck teeth, like the teeth were sticking straight out. And he's like, oh my god, look at it. But like while he's doing the overdub, the narration, he's like, oh, look at his toe, look at him. You can hear him. Ooh, ooh, and they just kept making it come past the screen. It's just so funny. And I was like, I gotta see this movie. Oh, and then spoiler alert, they do find Bigfoot. All right, you know what? There's some very funny moment, but the movie is bad though. The movie is bad,
But the moments are
but
funny.
so they're camping around fire, and Bigfoot comes out. And I think he's holding wood, like a pile of like sticks. I'm not sure, but anyway, he does come out though, and he sees them all, and they're all like around the campfire, and they all get up and they just unload their guns, like they're like like they freak out, and they just kill Bigfoot, right? But before Bigfoot dies, he goes, ooh, like. and they're like, after they kill him, they're like, oh my god, and like, I don't was he threatening us? And they're like, no, I think he was like, oh, like they're trying to reenact it, and like, I don't think he was what they found. Oh, did you hear the thing where they spent $500 million?
What? On what?
It was either $500,000 or $500 million, whatever it was.
Well, 500,000 is a lot less.
Whatever
than
it was,
million.
a bunch of scientists went into the woods and found Bigfoots, and there's a documentary on it that they're getting ready to release. But yeah, let's look at this. 500K.
This is a recent thing.
Bigfoot doc or study. Just rate study. That might bring it up. Or maybe
A lot of pediatrics.
I think it's 500 million. They got a huge grant for it.
How chasing Bigfoot can lead to actual science.
Wait, the group of scientists that found Bigfoot. It was something that I saw. It might be one of those things that like they weren't supposed to release it, but there's people talking about it now.
What?
Oh, believe in the scientific evidence says bears are to blame. No, that's not it. I gotta find it for you and send it to you.
Expert analyzed new Bigfoot footage on CBS, April 18th, 2021. Let's see what that is. CBS is releasing this. CBS News. Oh, this is a video. It's a video. I don't know. What is this? Do you think it was a scientific grant that they got?
It was scientists got together and they got a massive grant, and over the years they found it. Oh, and this might be it.
What is it?
Here it is.
What is it?
A Bigfoot documentary so significant, experts believe it could prove in a court of law that Sasquatch exists. Let's get to the good stuff. A growing group of independent researchers working towards definitive proof and protection of the species commonly known as Bigfoot are pleased to announce the launch of Discovering Bigfoot, a documentary that showcases new crystal clear video evidence of Bigfoot as well as a PhD's eyewitness account. Discovering Bigfoot is the first feature film documentary with real live interactive Bigfoot between a Bigfoot creature, wilderness experts, PhDs, and other world-renowned experts and researchers of the Bigfooting. Now, they were saying that like
This came out in 2017.
this documentary did
Discovering Bigfoot came out in 2017.
can be viewed on select pay-per-view channels.
Budget was $1 million.
Oh, this is not it then. This is not it. Wait, the budget for the film might be $1 million, but the grant that allowed them to do the research. All right, I'll find it. It. It's pretty amazing stuff. Oh no, that's not
So basically, we both have big feet.
it. If you ran into a Bigfoot,
Like literally, like ow, I ran into.
no,
this thing.
like you were walking through the woods and you're like, oh, find a spot to kill my next victim, and then you're like, oh crap, a Bigfoot.
Ooh.
Would you think it was there to hurt you or not hurt you?
How does it react to me? Or I'm just seeing it.
It's Bigfoot.
If it doesn't see me, I'm not going to take my chances. 'cause
No,
it's
no,
probably gonna-
it's looking at you, but it's 7'2", big, muscular, hairy, just staring at you. Like,
I'd be like, this is awkward.
would you be like, hey, I'm JD, or
Would
would you start leaving?
I would probably slowly back up.
So what you're saying is you're a racist.
I'm saying I don't want to be eaten by a giant monster thing.
Well, how do you know it? So you're saying if you saw a black person in the woods, you would pull your pocketbook closer?
No,
Then why would you run from a Bigfoot?
because it is not.
You
human.
don't know as much as you don't know if a black person is a danger. You can't just assume because of how they look.
That is Bigfootist.
That's
That's species.
on you.
That is.
You don't know. I mean, look, if a bear was there, yeah, you run because bears will attack you. But you don't have any evidence on a Bigfoot.
Yeah. So if I'm by myself in the woods,
You don't. Yeah, but why are you reacting as if it's a threat? You don't know. We have empirical evidence that bears do attack people if they feel threatened.
well, being that I am 5'4" and that thing is
Yeah, I would think you're
7 feet.
shrubbery. Shrubbery.
Bring us a shrubbery. We are the knights who say.
We were once the knights that say. We are no longer the knights that say. We are. If all right, so you see, no, that's the thing. Like an elephant is not. If you saw an elephant, you're not going to run, right?
If I see an elephant by itself,
Yeah,
probably not. But if I see an elephant with like a baby elephant, I'm not gonna go near that thing because it's.
but you're not going to run. You're not going to be like, ah. You'll just give it its space, right?
And I will slowly back up.
Because
and go around.
there's evidence of how elephants they look at us like puppies.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I also
So maybe
realize that if it's
Sasquatch look
being-
at you like a puppy.
but I
Plus,
would
you're
also
the
back
size
up-
of a puppy compared to a Sasquatch.
But I would also, like I said, back up slowly and
Because you're
go away.
scared. Because you're scared.
The thing's giant.
Yeah, but elephants will charge you and not actually hit you.
Well, I don't know that.
Well, now you do.
Now I do.
We
still
could
gonna
film
back-
it. I'll be far away. I'll have one of those, sniper lenses.
and some
I'll
popcorn.
film you. I'll watch you just get trampled. I'm like, he believed me. And then you stand up. You go, I don't know if he was. He didn't stop.
I don't think you're right, Thomas. I'll take the slash, JD.
Yeah, I'll take it. You got me. See? Now next Jupiter.
Oh, God.
Now we're gonna prove Jupiter. Let's go to space.
Quick,
Go outside in
get
space.
the measuring tape.
Yeah, go-
Hold on, I'm floating to the sun. Give me a
I
second.
feel like I'm boiling from the inside out. Why? I have my suit on. I don't know what's going on.
I have,
I
the
have my
helmet-
flannel shirt on.
I have
I
the-
don't know why I'm not protected.
I got-
You
I got
said
the-
this keeps me warm.
I got the
How am I
baseball over
freezing?
my head, but I don't have the rest of the suit.
How am I freezing? I have a t-shirt on in space. You said this keeps me warm. A shirt was designed to keep me warm. He looks it up. Is a shirt designed to keep you warm? No, JD, that's stupid.
Why does it know my name?
All right, I guess that's it. All right, bye. Anything else? Do you want to say anything?
No. Wait. I haven't rung it all episode.
I don't even know why I deal with this kid. Did you learn anything today?
One or two things.
You want to sum it up?
Yeah.
You
Have a plan,
procrastinate? Oh.
JD.
See? JD show. Why is it about you? So that's it. Just have a plan. How about do the plan?
And do the plan.
No, like I will do a plan. Like I will create a plan.
Create a plan. This way you can
Have it.
Have it, and also stay on track with what you want to be doing.
Well,
with
you
your
actually
career.
have to follow the plan.
Yeah, that's it.
So I
you
want to.
fi-
I want to create. Now, staying on track and
create the plan
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that you can stay on track.
yeah. But how do you stay on track? By
making
doing
the
it.
plan.
No, you have to choose to do it.
Yes,
You can't stay on track if you're not doing it.
that is true.
So
Look,
you,
I made this beautiful plan. I have it
yeah,
framed.
you got to create the plan, write the plan, do the plan, and stay the course.
Stay the course.
You think you could do it?
I think I could do it.
How many plans have you tried to written out since meeting me? Just in general,
Since
just
meeting
plans.
you or this week?
Just this week. How many plans have you written out where you're like, I got to put a note on a stick it on this and be like, let's go over this with Thomas.
All of them.
Yeah, I know.
That's like 4 or 5.
You know what's funny? I don't write out plans like I tell people to write out plans. I just write out plans that are efficient. I go do this crap, I'll be good. Because if you write like if to create a TV show, like if you wrote out that entire plan, it's just a lot of stuff. But I just know what I have to do. So my plan, like because I do it so much.
Yeah, you just basically have like checkpoints you have to do at this
Well, if I'm
point.
going to write a story, I can't write a story until I at least understand what the story's about. So why don't I just break it down by creating, a Bible and like, what is the synopsis of the show? What is it I want to happen? Who are some of the characters? What are some ideas? Maybe even work out scenes, but not to necessarily end up in the project, but to really see how these characters work. And if there is a scene that inspired me to write something, I might work that scene out. And then from there, that scene might not even end up in the project. But I break that scene down and who those characters are. And then I allow that to help build, my treatment or whatever the case may be.
Because if you understand who the characters are, you know how they're going to react to certain situations.
Is that true?
In theory.
See, now you know how I read people. Because I break down the characters in my head and I go, these people are acting like people. Do you ever see people not act like you think they're going to? Like people really are either going to. There's only so many ways a person's going to act.
The more you point out to me about human behavior, the more I see it, and it's very annoying.
Yeah. Can you? How often do you hear yourself and or other people make excuses now?
Anytime I talk to you.
It's like crazy. It's not. By the way, it's not a bad thing when you make excuses. It's a behavioral trait that means you're not answering the question or you're not staying on.
Well, the
point.
excuse is you feel like you pointed out. You feel the need to validate whatever it is that you just did or said.
But you never
don't need
have
to validate.
You don't
if someone asks you why or asks you to elaborate, then you can elaborate. But if
but even in that case, you're not elaborating with valued energy. You're just literally saying what you had to do.
Yeah, like you don't need to validate your motivations to somebody else.
Like we had this really funny instance where he's working on a social media post for like 18 hours. And I was like,
it was a long day.
I was like, are you still working on that? And he went through everything that kept him from working on it. And I was like,
it's yes or no.
Yeah. You're either still working on it. Yeah. But the reason I'm still working on it is because all these things happen.
And then you're like, I don't care about the reason. I just wanted the yes or the no.
And then he gets frustrated because the truth is like none of that matters, which is funny because I'm actually giving you the greatest amount of respect. By saying it doesn't matter why you've been working on it all day.
Because it's just yes or no.
Yeah, I don't.
Your reasons are your reasons.
Yeah, I don't care why you're doing. Just
you're saying that I don't need to validate.
You never ever. Now, if you were like,
unless it's parking, you should definitely validate that. So
you got to validate. Yeah, LA is a bitch. But even if I said, well, why are you still working on it? You going through what happened? I ate lunch and I did a couple. None of that is bad.
It's just this is what happened.
Yeah, and you wouldn't have to say, "Well, I ate lunch because I was hungry." No, I ate lunch. I
came back to it.
I had. You don't have to say I came. Obviously, you came back.
But did I?
Because you're sitting there.
Did I though?
But you know what I'm saying? Like
maybe I'm a ghost.
But what that also does is it makes you learn how to be in control of a conversation, even though you're answering the questions, because the more you're giving detail beyond the purpose of the question, and it allows you to be a better listener as well. See, so if I ask you a question and you answer it with all of this,
it was not what was directly asked.
Yeah, the thing I learned the most with JD is never commit a crime with him because he would be a crappy defendant on this. So where were you Thursday? The thing is like, what do you mean like before the incident? Because like I started at my house and then like because I was there on Thursday, but like Thursday at 7:30. Oh, 7:30, like
morning or afternoon?
Yeah, because like I was definitely up by 7. but what you're doing is you're.
But I was also asleep on the other 7. So
Yeah. But after I had killed the person, I was so tired. I just went to. What did you just say? What? What are you talking? But I was hungry.
Listen, people ribs.
Would you eat people
Probably not.
to survive?
If it was
Now he
like,
has to say yeah.
if it was like one of those situations where it's like that soccer team? Was it the soccer
JD,
team?
to
Yes.
survive is the question.
Yes.
Would you eat? So you would eat human meat.
Yes,
So why did you say not? Probably not.
because I wasn't thinking of a situation where I was like,
It doesn't matter what the situation is.
would you eat
Because-
people meat?
Yeah. Because probably not means if you were in a situation for survival, there's still a chance based on your answer that you probably won't eat it. You'd be like, I'll just take the death.
Cake or death?
Yeah, but if you're like, well, if I'm doing it to survival, then it's no longer probably. It is, no, I will.
It's like, I'm hungry
Yeah. So you would eat human flesh.
to stay alive.
No,
Yes.
it does. That is not,
Yes.
that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. You're validating your answer to eat human flesh.
So then, yes.
You would eat human flesh?
You just said you would too.
Yeah. Well, then it's not weird that I would.
I mean, that's true. You are a vampire.
All right. So basically I told JD that all the questions were actually going to be about
Penises.
phallic pleasure. So let's go over those now.
Where's the Cinnabon question?
It's not there.
Oh, man.
All right. I guess that's it. Bye.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Jesus, why do you always have to get the last word? It's a JD show. By the way, next week it's good. The title will be the JD show because I lost the bet.
There's a bet?
Yeah. That's why I had to live with you.
Oh.
Just kidding. There's no living here. I'm in a cocoon of pain and sorrow. See, JD was the funniest guy here today. You said you were supposed to be the funny one. You're supposed to be here to be funny.
Listen, I inspire you to do all the funny jokes.
You didn't do any funny. You did like maybe one or two, but I wouldn't say. I would say on the majority, you weren't here to be funny.
Yeah, no, I'm here to inspire you to be the funny guy.
I'm not funny. I'm not a funny guy. I'm just funny. It just so happens. I found out why I am funny.
Because you have a funny bone?
No, because I don't restrict my thoughts. So a true comedian, somebody that will take a chance at allowing their perspective to be heard with no fear of failing. Like there are going to be things I say that are definitely not funny. And also the response. Like, so earlier when I said, what are you using? Children voice when you talk to her? What is that? Tina grow? Yeah. You want to Tina? But because JD has a personal relationship with her, he didn't find it funny and it got him, the anxiety took over. Like as if she's going to hear this and be like, never again. They are banished to the fountain of death.
Banished to Mordor.
But my comedian brain takes a chance on that going, I'm not saying it to offend people. I'm just saying it to
say it.
Well, no, because as an observation of what it sounds like. It sounds like a kid saying, Tina, you grow, Tina, grow, and that's the power of comedy is not fearing what you're going to say. Because I never say anything with the intent to hurt. But,
that's the power of comedy.
See, but sometimes timing and also delivery sucks. So then, see, I made you see how I made him laugh. But I wasn't saying it to be like JD has poor delivery, even though he does. I was saying,
oh man, there's no way to keep up with UPS or FedEx, man.
That's not true. If you hold on to the back for dear life, when they're doing 70 and your legs are just flailing in the back,
it's like the end of Toy Story.
There's no reason this should be a thing in my memory now. If you were hanging off the back of a truck with that happening, would you let go to see what happens? Or would you just be like, I'm just going to wait until he stops?
Probably hang on until he stops.
So you don't like enjoying life?
I don't want to get my skin ripped off by the road.
Let me get this straight. You'll eat human flesh, but you won't. No.
One is going to keep me alive. The other one will probably kill me.
Yeah, the one I'll need human flesh. Because of all the lack of human flesh that was torn off of me. And now it looks pretty on the ground. What is this? Pavement? No, it looks like JD.
Oh, it's like it's that red the squishy road.
Oh yeah. What is this? Brick? All right, I gotta bye.